Today we're going to be making our mini donut ornament. It's a mini donut. You could either use it as play food for a kitchen, or you could put a little thing on it and hang it on your Christmas tree. Okay, so here we go. First thing you're going to need to do is make a pattern. And my pattern for this is a 3.5 inch circle. My suggestion is you look for a cup in your kitchen or a Tupperware container that is about 3.5 inches and use that to help you make a perfect circle. Then you have to make a frosting pattern, and this is my frosting pattern. It is, the only thing important about doing the frosting pattern is that you make sure that after you're done cutting these waves, it fits inside of whatever you're using for your donut pattern. So see? Now we're ready to put it together. Layer 2 pieces of tan felt, and you're going to use your donut pattern and trace around with a pen, just like I did. Then you need to do this middle circle. I used my bobbin for that. I just tried to center it. It's not exactly perfect, but that's alright. And I went around it with a pen. And now I'm going to machine sew on this outside line, but I'm not going to sew this inside line. And I need to place my ribbon in place. I've cut about 2 inches of ribbon that I'm going to fold in half to make a loop, and I am going to put that between the 2 layers. You can kind of feel where it is, so that's about how big my loop is going to be. I'm going to now I'm going to sew around this outside line. If you need to, you could put a pin in it to help keep it in place. Okay, I've machine sewn around this outside line, and now I'm going to trim away this excess fabric. About 1/8 inch around the outside of the seam line. Now I need to cut out that middle circle. Okay, now comes the tricky part, because we need to flip this inside out. Now I need to sew this inside circle. You're going to want to put at least 3 knots in the end of your thread so that it doesn't come loose. I start from the inside of my donut, pull the thread out, and usually for the first stitch I tie a knot to make sure that that stitch will not come loose. Alright, then I'm just going to sew this closed all the way around. Well, not all the way around. You'll see what we're going to do in a minute. When I get about 2/3 of the way there, I'm going to stop. And I'm going to tie a knot, and I'm going to stuff this portion of the donut. This is where you want to use your stuffy stick. You're going to just keep adding stuffing into that hole and pushing it down into the other section. And work your way towards the opening. You think you have it pretty much the way you want it. Just take your finger and push it down and start closing that gap. So when you get done sewing in this center, this is about what you look like. And you can kind of go like this, and that'll kind of evenly distribute and make your donut a little rounder. Now we're ready to do the frosting. So then you're going to trace around your frosting piece and cut it out. So this is what it looks like now. Now we're going to add some beads to it to make it look like sprinkles. Okay, so to start sewing your beads on, which are going to be our sprinkles, you go up through the back of the frosting, wherever you want the bead to be. Come out, get your bead that you want. I'm going to put on this like purple one. Put it onto your needle. Go back down and back up. Get the bead again. So now we have 2 stitches through that bead. Go back down, turn over, and tie. Then you just move on to where you want that next bead to go. And you just keep adding more beads as you go and keep tying them off, each bead individually on the back, until you have as many beads on there as you want. So when you're finished with your frosting, this is like what it looks like in the front, and this is about what it looks like on the back. Notice I didn't cut these, I'll just leave them where they are. As long as they're tied individually, that's good. Now we're going to pin our frosting in place. So we kind of line it up how we want it. And I usually use 3 pins. Try to use short ones, because if you use really long ones, you're going to probably get poked. Okay. Now I'm going to start by sewing this inside part of the frosting to the inside part of the donut. This is a little tricky because you got to keep dropping your needle through the hole. You want to catch part of the donut and then part of the frosting and drop it through. You're going to go into the donut at an angle and then come back out about 1/8 of an inch away from your other stitch. Notice that when you do this, it makes the stitches that you see straight and the ones that are hidden inside the donut are slanted. I'm going to keep going all the way around the inside. So this is what my donut looks like now after that inside piece is sewn. Now I'm just going to kind of go like this, spread out this a little bit, and I've taken out the pins, And I'm going to sew now the outside of the frosting to the donut. So start from the inside. The reason why I start from the inside is to hide the knot, because I don't like to see my knot. And we're sewing the same way, and if you've watched a couple of my other videos, you'll see that you're pretty much using the same sewing stitch on almost everything when you're appliquing. Okay, because if you'll notice, I'm going in to the donut at an angle and then coming out, going straight down into the donut and in an angle and out. And I just keep working my way around the frosting. And there you have it. There's our mini felt donuts. Now you can make lots and lots of them. Why don't you make a dozen felt donuts for your friends and family? Have fun!